Yo, what is going on? How are we doing, homies? We're here today on the first episode of Hanging with the Homies series we're going to do for a while now. Hopefully, it's going to be continuous. We're getting in a lot of different talented artists who come through the Wellington area. We're going to get them up for some interviews. Today, we are joining us today, the one, the only, the one that your girl wants to see the most at the rave. The Liquid Lord. We're in this with Willy Mav, bro. How are we doing today?
Yo, good, thanks, Davis. How are you?
Yeah, not shabby. Oh, I just introduced myself actually as well. We got Fitu Davis right here, and we got the brother Z. We're in this bitch. Yo, alright, so first off the bat, bro. You rocking up here today. Over the weekend you had a gig. How was that?
Yeah, Saturday we had a gig. Saw you there, actually.
Low key.
Pretty hot. Nah, it was awesome, man. It was fucking mate. Can we swear?
Yeah, you can swear, bro. We're on a podcast.
Fucking kill.
Yeah, fucking that. Yo, man. And so that was at Meow, was it?
Yeah, Meow.
First gig back out of quarantine?
Yeah, bro. First one back. I've done a couple live streams and that, but first one with an actual crowd there. It was good.
Could you feel the atmosphere? Could you feel like the crowd was all buzzing to be back? You know?
Yeah. I fucking missed the woos and the screams from the fucking the crowd. When you put something in, like put a tune in or something, you actually get a bit of a reaction, and that's like all part of it.
100%. Like something that's not quite there on the live stream. Yeah. But I did see some of the live streams that you did, and rooftop live stream with the C1 boys.
Yeah, bro. That was loose. That was actually such a bad setup. Like we're on their roof, and their roof was like this like jagged kind of tin. And we're basically like standing there, and your feet like weren't even level. Like, we're all kinda, like,
trying not to slip over while you're spinning.
Yeah. And the edge of the roof was like a meter behind you, so you had to step back. It was pretty dangerous, but yeah, no, it was good though. It was an awesome spot. Yeah, those boys are great.
Man.
So,
okay, now. And so like since we just got out of lockdown, that was your first gig back. Like, did you have any tunes that you just like wanted to drop on everyone that you've been racking up, or anything you made over lockdown?
Bro, I like intended to, I wanted to, but I think I was probably too wasted.
Yeah,
I was like up there. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play this one, and I ended up only playing like 2 tunes of my own. The rest of them were all just like crowd pleasers, I downloaded fresh Juno downloads and that, so I was just like keen as to thrash those. First one back.
Man.
So. But yeah, hold tight for the next. See how we go.
Straight. You wanted to drop like 4 tunes, but you only dropped a couple. The over lockdown, did you find yourself like learning how to produce more, like picking up new skills while you were just chilling?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, no, I definitely spent a lot of time during lockdown because I was getting paid for work, but like didn't have to go in and that. They were being pretty pretty chill about that. So I was like, I just spent my time at home, like woke up in the morning, made coffee, got straight into it, But by the end of like 4 weeks, the inspiration was definitely lacking, like not being out in the world and doing the normal things. So it was just like every day turned into like kind of one big day. So
100%.
But made some of the best music I think I've made, and collaborated with like more people than I ever had throughout that time, which was because everyone was kind of doing it. So the main time to make some new connections, and
100%.
It was awesome.
Did you have people like heading you up, or did you start heading up people that you wanted to work with in that time period?
Yeah, like I started working with Molly Foster, who goes by Ellipsa. She's a fantastic vocalist. Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, crazy voice, and she's definitely doing bits for the New Zealand drum and bass, emceeing and vocalists and that. So it's awesome. I hear she's actually starting to get mentored by MC Tali. You've heard of her?
MC Tali?
Yeah, she's with Shikarelli. So they do like Liquid Lowdown and that. Yeah, she's a bit of a legend. Otherwise, like Burnsy as well. Me and Yancey got on a track.
Yancey?
Yeah. So that's in the middle of getting done. Just need to get the stems back and get it nice. But there's heaps of stuff happening throughout that time, mate.
That's nice. And so when you're working on a track with someone, for Molly for example, who's like a vocalist, Would you usually just like send her the beat first, or does she send you vocals first? How does it usually work when you work with that?
Yeah, so I would actually send her the beat, first, and she would turn around like tunes in a day at most, and she'd come back with like full vocals, like multiple stems and that. And yeah, she's crazy productive at it. she knows she obviously could just like hear it in the tune and just like
Lays it down straight away.
Yeah, right, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, that's mean to have like a good little relationship with someone like that. You can just has the turnaround time so fast
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
real quick.
Man.
So, yeah, and also done a couple of things with like MC Tree and Ellipser as well. So they're on like one track together.
Oh, right.
I'm just in the middle of mixing that one down there. It's proving to be quite a bitch.
That's gonna be
good. It'll be good though. When it finally sees the light of day, But, yeah.
So, of course, you're a producer, a DJ as well. When did you get into producing and what came first? Did you start desk jockeying or did you start producing?
It was definitely the production that came first. Like when I was probably like 13 or 14, maybe 15. It was before I got into cars, because cars definitely started like taking over my life a little bit when I was like got my license and that.
Yeah, 100%.
But like initially, I was inspired by Dead Mouse. If you've heard of him, like a legendary guy wears the big mouse head on the stage and plays in a cube, and that was this. I'd watch him live stream. He'd actually live stream kind of production sessions for hours on end.
Oh, I've actually seen it, and you had a huge studio with all the motherfucking dials around the room. Yeah.
Crazy as shit. Like it's so expensive, all that stuff. But like he used Ableton, and that's the DAW that like I used, and I saw him using it. I was like, oh, that's sort of the way I want to go.
Was that like 13? You reckon you like amongst that sort of?
What, 13 or 14? Yeah, around that sort of time. I think it was like, it was a while ago now, but I was just getting into making like house beats and things like that. It was pretty simple stuff, but I ended up releasing like a house EP under another alias. Like when I was,
you gonna drop the alias?
Nah, no way.
Come on, just for the interview.
When I was real young, nah. Maybe one day you guys will find out, but like, that's the thing with production is just like you
gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere, and every project you start ends up like coming out just like that much better than your last, and you always think that, like every time, just like without fail, you're just always like kind of impressing yourself, and it's
every day the small things build up,
absolutely.
And so you said you use Ableton. Would you recommend if you were looking to get into DMV or producing or just producing itself, do you recommend Ableton as like a way to go?
Yeah, 100%, but like I haven't actually tried my hand in like many other DAWs, I've always just sort of stuck with Ableton. But I've tried like Bandcamp and that at school and Pro Tools and things, but I've never done FL Studio or anything like that, I've just always stuck with Ableton.
It's easy to just stick with what you're learning and what you know.
Yeah, like if you sort of master that one, then like master one of them, and then eventually you could like look down other avenues. I've heard like different DAWs do better at different things, but I find it
like Ableton safe.
Yeah, I love Ableton. Yeah, 100% all the way.
No. It seems to be like a growing trend. Everyone's switching over from Logic to Ableton. I swear to God, I'm still on Logic. I don't know if I'm lagging or something like that. I don't know.
Nah, just stick with what you know. Like if it works for you, it works for you. Like so many people have so many different opinions on things, and it's like I think all of them make music like just as good as each other. Like,
as long as it puts out sound at the end,
exactly. It's just whatever you've learned, like stick with it.
And so getting off the back of producing, your solidified EP last year that you dropped with Milo.
Yeah, ages ago. That's an old one now.
So that like came out as your breakout piece into like this indie NB scene. I know it raised a lot of awareness to your name, Willy Mav, and I'm sure the catchiness of Willy Mav, straight off the bat, everyone who's a breather who's been sinking piss already knows that kind of shit, So
it's such a laugh.
Tell me, how much did that like? What does that piece of work mean to you, or tell me how did that piece of work like change your life? Because surely it's changed your life a little bit by now.
Yeah, bro. Like big learning experience and like working with other people. Like I never really worked with anybody else in terms of like making music and vocalists and that, and that was a big sort of project that Milo was definitely a big driving factor for it, you know. Like he was like, these are so good, man, like keep pushing, and he was like he was there the whole time, you know. And he's got a fantastic ear, so he was just telling me like what he thought sounded mean, like here and here and here. And then eventually I think he put us in contact with Rosie, and then we sent that first one, Take Me Away, to Rosie, and then she turned it around in like a week or two, and it got like the kind of phone recording of it over the top, and we were just it was so sick. Like,
that song's blowing up.
It was awesome to see, and hear for the first time when we got them back. It was just like, man, like, so eventually she came over, and we just put a pillow behind her like USB mic, and just recorded the vocals like that. Like it was the most botched setup.
People do that, you know.
Yeah, whatever works, you know. So that's what we did, and it ended up sounding pretty cool. That, and then she also had an idea for that cool running string, so she jumped on that.
Yeah, it's a nice tune as well. It's a nice tune. So when you're working with like on an EP with someone producing together, so you got two producers, you and Milo. So did you guys like work on melodies and the other person work on the drums? Or I know that's how a lot of two producers work. How about you guys?
Yeah, no, it was sort of more like we just sat together and just started, because I knew how to use the DAW, right? Milo had sort of taught me the ways, the ropes and DJing and that, you know. So we would go back to back a lot at parties and things like that, just for fun. Like we figured out eventually we had the same like taste in music, the same sort of ears. So it was basically like having two brains just on one computer, you know. Like, and I knew how to route stuff and all that, but he was sort of he knew what sounded nice and things. So I was just like, oh, let's do it like that. And,
cool.
Yeah, it just worked and turned out to be a big collaborative sort of project. You know? It was good. Yeah, it was cool. And we still go B2B to this day.
Did you find that putting out like a project like that opened up quite a few opportunities for you in terms of like getting more placements at gigs or things like that?
I'm not sure if it like led to more gigs and things like that, but it definitely, like after seeing the sort of Spotify streams at the end of the year, like how many streams it had racked up, you know, you get that like little Spotify sort of I saw that and I was like, oh well, like use that as kind of promotional stuff on my Instagram, you know, and like that sort of just show like how sort of far it's come, and like thank you everyone for listening and that.
100%.
I'm not sure if it's led to gigs and things, but I think it's definitely helped having a body of work on a streaming platform, you know.
No. It shows like it's almost like a point of difference from quite a lot of other DnB DJs is having a body of work there to go back and reflect on that.
Yeah, for sure. But it's definitely I've learned a lot like since that EP, you know. And like you like I said before, you know, you start a new project and you're just like, well, this is like way better than the last. So like I've kind of been wanting to hone my craft a bit more since releasing that, before like putting out more stuff, you know. So that's sort of what it's been about, honing the craft.
And before you just touched on parties, being you were going to B2Bs at parties with Milo.
Yeah.
Did you find like parties is like the way you should be like practicing your sets to make sure if you got a lit party going on, then you can be a lit at the gig? Do you reckon? Is that how it works?
Yeah, definitely. I'd definitely say like getting into the sort of house parties and that, because you'll be going to house parties before you go into like gigs.
Yeah, for sure.
The reaction of like all the drunk cunts.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and if you're the guy manning the decks at the party, you know, like it teaches you a lot, like just doing that, because it's like you'll be like probably intoxicated, like you know, everything will be haywire, like people will be pushing on the table and that, like no, it won't be like a perfect sort of situation. So if you can like learn to kind of hack it in that stressful environment, like
you'll be able to hack it
being
anywhere.
up on a stage with nobody around you, like instead of like they're a couple meters in front, like it's gonna be much easier. But yeah, I think it's important definitely to give it a go at parties, you know.
Work your way up.
Yeah, that's how it happened for us. Like old Mr. Coastal started a promotions gig, and
then
and
so
then
got
all
from
of a sudden
there,
we're getting booked and playing at bars and that, and it was like, oh man, like this is
And all of a sudden, some people want to come and interview and stuff like that. It's like, what the heck?
next thing I know.
That's loose.
And was that first coastal gig?
Oh yeah, the heavy rollers.
Yeah, was that like our first year maybe? I think like 2017.
Yeah, it was like heavy rollers was not second year. It would have been third year, so maybe second year for you guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have been at the end of second year. I don't know. It's been a while.
I remember that would have been second year.
Yeah, I could find the posters, eh? But yeah, no, that was awesome, eh? Because Charlie, that just set Charlie on a absolute
Rampage.
rampage, eh? Because he sold that one out, and like that night there was just a line down out the door, down the street, and I was like, whoa.
Wellington was
People,
ready,
Wellington was ready, eh?
Ready
So
for the scene to come.
yeah, and that went off, eh? And we had Anahita, who we've done some like live sets with. Like we did a live set with Anahita, so me and Milo went B2B as under the alias Atmosphere.
Oh yeah.
So it was pretty funny. Yeah. So but it was fair, spelt with an FEAR, you know. So so Anahita came and sung like over the live set, and that was like our first sort of taste with like a live vocalist. So it went off that. It was awesome. It was so cool. Yeah, definitely got to do it again.
Was it Donny Trumpet that you got the bro playing sax on and everything?
Yeah, so Donny Trumpet. That was all. That's all sampling. Like the trumpet wise, you know, like it was all sampling. I didn't get any live. Trumpet in or anything. But it'd be sick to get somebody to like almost do a cover of it, eh? Or like do a remaster and get actual like.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, it could be cool, though.
The heavy rollers. The first one you said with the line out the door.
Yeah.
That was at 121, was it?
Nah, that was at. That was at Caroline.
Oh, Liz. But you had performed did perform at the 121 festival, didn't you?
Mm.
Yeah. Tell me, how was that?
At the start of this year.
Yeah, that would have been your first festival experience, or did you have the New Year's one over down
I
at
did
Rhythm?
last year, around this time last year, I did Mardi Gras, but it was the warm-up.
Cooney one, eh?
Yeah. So it was just a warm-up party
Yeah.
at one of the stages in one of the bars, sort of near the area. So that was the night before all the big stages opened and that. And that was awesome, mate. It was sick. It was fucking cold, man. Like, I was not prepared for the cold.
Fingers freezing, like buttons
so
will become that much
cold,
harder to press and push, bro. I can imagine.
Yeah, exactly. But that was my first sort of like little taste of a festival experience. But otherwise, the next up was 121 Festival out in Martinborough. Yeah.
What was that like?
That was sick because it was like that was just when everything was kind of turning to shit COVID-wise, you know. Like,
everyone's gonna send it before everyone gets locked down.
Yeah. It was literally. It must have been like the last festival in the world. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But
what was the vibes like there?
It was sick. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. There's heaps of stages, and they all flowed real well from one to the other.
Yeah.
You could just like walk down the whole sort of. It was around this where they race horses.
Right.
Run down race course.
Yeah.
And it was sort of on the back of the track, but where all the big like
stables are, like the fucking crowd thing.
Yeah, where the crowd
Yeah.
bleachers are and all that. It was like behind all that, and there was I think 4 stages.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had this like indoor stage that only opened sort of later on in the evening, and we were the only drum and bass to be going on there. Otherwise, it was all just.
Was that in the? Did you play in the coastal at the coastal stage there?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So that was the
yeah.
coastal stage that we had. I think we had it till from 11 till 4 or something like that. It was mean. It went off, packed for the whole time.
That was the only drum bass at the festival like the whole time.
Yeah. Milo and I had the 3 a.m. till 4 a.m. shift, so it was deadly. Yeah, it was deadly, but it was
Still pretty packed then. Or?
Yeah, it was actually packed right.
I don't want to leave that.
We didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, that Wax Mustang played.
Wax is out the gate, man.
Yeah,
Wax is out the
crazy.
gate.
You guys should get him on the show.
Yeah,
That motherfucker should come here, come to Wellington, motherfucker. Like, make a song with me, bro. Come and get an interview, bro. I got that.
Give me a hoodie, bro.
Like it. Oh, that's crack up. What do you have you heard of any news that's gonna be happening with like festivals in the future? Cause
Yeah, like I know that Mardi Gras happening again, both Okuni and Queenstown in September, I think.
yeah.
And then I know R&V is going ahead as well.
Any lineups for Willy Mav along any of those ones? Then?
Oh, maybe, perhaps.
Hopefully,
yeah, hopefully we'll see. Yeah, I don't know if I'm even allowed to talk about that. Yeah, definitely. Like, it's definitely on the cards. I'd love to attend R&V because I did that 2 years in a row. The first year camping, the second year in a house. Might have been 3 years. But it was such a sick festival. But you got to camp, 100%. You got to camp.
The experience.
Yeah,
Get the
camping's the way to go.
Yeah. Did you want to yarn about the label releases?
Label releases. Oh yeah, fucking it. Trigger Audio UK, bro. That was a fucking new one for you.
The old Let's Go, yeah. That was a meme, mate. I started that track as a meme because the bro, so Charles Clatworthy's older brother, Harry Clatworthy, I think he was it was an Instagram video and they were over in Bali and they were just in the back of this like tuk-tuk, like taxi or whatever, and they were drinking that and he was just like, let's go, you know, like it was just like a good video and I sampled it.
Now it's
Yeah,
released.
it was some big gnarly bass and that, you know, it sounded pretty cool, but yeah, and then Burnsy, Nick Burns, so Burnsy's doing bits for the scene in New Zealand at the moment. Absolute G. He put me in touch because like he's running Trigger Audio with a UK dude. Get his name, mate. It might be Rain, I think. RAYN. It's wrong. We'll fact check this. Edit it out if I'm wrong. But yeah, they're running that, so he put me in touch with Trigger Audio, and then they just wanted that one. They want a few more as well, but like I just don't think they're like finished tracks, you know. And I have a couple that are sort of sitting there for them, but I need to get off my ass and finish them. I'm just like I'm a project slut, you know. Like, I'll sit on like a project for like 2 or 3 days and try it. If I can't get anything working, then I'll move on to the next, you know. Like, so it's just, I think like you got to be in a sort of particular mindset, like creatively and things. And if you've got a vibe going, and if you spend too long on that one track, you lose that vibe, you know, and then you're just like, you would get kind of turned off it and try something else. Like, so, yeah. But definitely it'd be a good idea to revisit them and even take sounds and things from those older projects and kind of implement them into new ones. Like, be a good idea.
Kind of mix the two together.
Yeah.
So you mentioned like sampling twice now. Do you find like sampling is like a good way to start off a track when you're doing D&B? I know a lot of people like in funk music or in trap, like a lot of people like to sample first. How about you?
So there's a couple ways you can go about it. Like I'm a fan of sampling. You know, when I was first doing it, when I was inspired, by Dead Mouse back in the day, I was so against like sampling and that. I was just like, it feels like cheating, but and I would use like native instruments massive to try to create like sounds and things. And like they'd sound alright, but it was like that's why I won't give you the alias name because it's just like it's not, it wasn't there. Like
sound creation's a whole different game.
14-year-old brain, I'm like fuck yeah, But yeah, turning around, sort of in the first and second year when I started getting back into the like production and things like more heavily, I definitely turned towards sampling more because I was like, if I get the right samples, then like it definitely adds quite a lot to the track.
Value, especially if it's like a popular sample prior to you flipping it,
Yeah. But I think it's definitely a balance like between sampling and like creating your own sort of sounds, and definitely like I feel like my brain's matured a little bit, so I sort of know how to use the virtual instruments a bit more, so I know how to, if I kind of can halfway sort of there, like to where I sort of want to be in terms of like sound design and that, but yeah, it's we're definitely sort of getting there a bit more.
It's uphill battle till it's not uphill battle.
Exactly, bro. But like you never stop learning it. So it's just like, but like with drum and bass, drum and bass's roots are like sampling. Like it's all from
bootlegs.
Yeah, it's all old, slow sort of like slower music. That's sped up and taken like 4x4 bars out. And just to get the fucking, you take it out, speed it up, like pitch it up, do whatever. And that's sort of where the drums came from, from drum and bass. You hear that like that sound that's like it's like a high pitched sound. You hear them in the in drums all the time, like drum and bass all the time, and that you see that in so many different tracks, and that's just like. It shows that it's all about, it's kind of all sampling, like a lot of it, And then when it comes to like the bass, that's when you kind of want to get creative.
Make your own real heavy rolling things,
Yeah. So I feel like sampling gives kind of the music familiarity. However you say the word, like it makes it. People have heard that sound before, so they kind of feel like they can relate to it, in a way, because it's like
it's almost familiar, nostalgic. It's like an archetype. You hear something you know from back in the day, it takes you somewhere. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So that's just. I think that's the idea behind it.
When people hear the song "Let's Go," how many vortexes motherfuckers said before they said "Let's Go," and that's just like, damn, it takes me back to that vortex again now. So like, 100%. That's why heaps of people blow up off like samples, tracks like that, like "Beautiful Girls" by Sean Kingston, samples "Stand by Me," boom, blow the fuck up,
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. You never know. Never know. It's so.
Lows.
Anything will go viral nowadays. I guess it's fucking.
Okay. That's crazy.
How do you balance like being able to play shows, being able to produce your own stuff, learning how to like spin that stuff, and then doing the shows themselves with like a normal life? How do you like find that good balance?
So, like I'm obviously doing uni. I'm finishing off my last year of university at the moment, and I'm like working part time as well. And then the production, I find myself way more inspired and motivated in the morning.
Yeah.
So like, if I have work, sorry.
Yeah, because beer does it, you know what I mean, man? That's why exports are bad for it, like.
So many birds up the damn pond.
Okay.
If I have work in the morning, then I definitely don't really get any production done. If I have work in the morning and it goes like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, then I might, sometimes if I'm feeling it, I'll get on behind the production, but very rarely I'll like do stuff in the evening. I just don't find myself being that kind of onto it in the evening.
You want to do other things, you might want to, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So... it's those days where like I don't have uni and I don't have work to attend, like I'll definitely crack into some production, whether it be like just start off some drums, just start a 16 bar of drums and then like try finish those and then come back to them in a few days with kind of some bass developments and things like that. And that's the idea, really.
I 100% agree with you. Like the morning sessions for me when I go to do music are way more productive than the night sessions. It's like there's also more people at the house. You know, it's like what should I do with the bros chilling out in the lounge? You know.
Yeah, no, I love the feeling of like grabbing a coffee, you know, and just like cracking something. Being creative with that, like. Energy.
It's like, well, if you sit there, put yourself there in the morning, you know you're not gonna leave till you got something solid. Like
exactly.
If you're just like fuck, you're pretty into it and kind of shit like that.
Exactly, man.
Good for it.
Oh, we're gonna get some Willy Mav soon, but just going it.
Bro, I got exports. Some Billy. Got fucking exports. Get home here and then it's like, bro, Z's like, she got some Billy Mavs. So I was like, fuck's sake, bro. Say that to me and like, yeah, goddamn.
You still drink them like pretty rapidly, like?
No, actually, like more recently in the last few weeks, somewhat have been. But
it's got to really
get it back in the spirit of Willy Mav, you know.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the Woodies though. They've been pretty good.
The Woodstocks. Damn, I just paid someone a box of Woodstocks to fix a hole in my wall. Goddamn.
Yeah, there you go. See, they're like gold, mate. Tasty as, but. Yeah, no, I went through quite a phase of just drinking them all the time. But, yeah, definitely, you can't do 2 nights in a row.
I think I'm pretty sure, like, Billy Mav's a signature of any breather who goes to a D&B gig or starts getting into D&B.
Yeah, that was the idea, man. That was definitely the idea, you know. I was like, my name's Willy. Changing the bit. But it still works.
You're probably drinking, looking at a can like, my name's Willy. Oh my god. Holy fuck.
This is genius.
Basically.
Fucking hell.
And it just sort of stuck. Hey, I named myself it though. Nobody else called me Willy Mav, but.
That's alright, bro. They all call you that now, you know what I mean? That's safe.
Yeah, no, it's good.
The Trigger Audio, I just want to take it back to the Trigger Audio release. You say you know Burnsy because from Auckland runs the audio thing like that. But how would you, for any like DMB producer coming out wants to get his track sent to like or posted on like a YouTube channel like UKF or something like that, how do you reckon the best way to go about that is, or is it just a...
Well, I personally haven't had a track posted by UK.
Yeah.
But
that's pretty top.
Yeah, it is.
That's pretty top shit.
But it's definitely, I'd say, rinse and repeat. Like, just always rinse and repeat. Don't spend too long on like one idea, one tune. You know, you might think it's the bee's knees, but like, I think just make the tune, get it done as fast as you can, like as professionally as you can, and actually finish it so it's finished, and then carry on onto another project, and send it round to mates, get their thoughts and that. People will reply when the music's ready, but when it's there, they'll get back to you, and that's just a matter of rinsing and repeating, like, honestly, over and over and over and over again. Yeah, don't spend too long on one track.
Yeah, do you find if you spend too on a long track, just like motivation drops every time you go back to it, kind of thing? The
longer I spend on the track, sometimes like the worse it turns out.
Yeah.
Almost like I'll get it to a point, and then I might listen to it over and over again, like a couple of days later, and then I'll go back to it and I might change up some bits, but like sometimes I've like absolutely duffed.
No, swear.
Absolutely duffed tunes by just kind of tearing back into them, when they're just like good as they were. So, but then it's
also having the rawness of a track done straight away almost has like texture to it, because it catches a vibe right then and there. Sometimes you come back to a fucking stage like studio I feel, and it's just like it's just not the same.
Yeah,
you got different people there, different kind of energies,
And the more you like sort of do it, the faster you'll get at kind of perfecting it. Like if you lay all the foundations down properly at the beginning when you first start making the track, like by the time you get to the end, it's gonna be way more solid, So it's those like foundations, and consistency, getting it all sound the same and things like.
Have you had many tunes where like you've come back a second time after taking a break and it's like actually been better the second time?
Yeah. I've definitely, there's been a few tunes which like I've come back to. had to change out some bits, and then I like it better. But I've had some people go, oh, I like the old one better. And I was like, oh, I like the new one better. So what are you gonna do, you know?
Release both.
One can stay a dub and one's a VIP, you know, like, or something like that. But
that's a bit of drum bass, surely.
Yeah, exactly.
VIPs.
No, it's definitely fun, eh? But I just need to get a few. I want to get some like solid. Like I did a VIP of that "Take Me Away" tune, and that's just like sitting there, but it's never gonna see the light of day. Eh?
Don't rate it like as much as the OG.
I like it like more, you know, because it's dark. It's like darker, like it's a bit deeper and darker. It's not so liquidy, but it's still got the gorgeous vocals. So it's just, I really rate that sort of music. Okay, but. And I like it more, but maybe I'll play it. But
Play here one day.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I did that so long ago now that like the stuff I'm making now just feels that much more like refined and sounds just better. You know, it's fuller and things, and it's that whole rinsing and repeating thing. You know, like you keep going like with tracks, and you'll literally just sit there and go. Like, you'll keep pressing yourself like over and over again. You just be like, what the fuck? Like, is my ears like getting better or something?
Yeah,
you know? It's like it's like weird, bro. It's weird. Yeah,
it's just the incremental steps. It's the like motherfucking inches, you know.
Yeah.
Go backwards, always forward, surely.
Exactly. So like when you go forward, you don't want to go back and release something, you know, that you've done ages ago.
Yeah.
It's like it's not your best anymore, you know. Like it's the problem with releasing tunes, you know. It's like, when is it ever done? Like, when is it finished? Like,
Straight up, because you could always, I swear, every time you think it's done and 2 days in the future is a complete different set of ears on your head than it was 2 days ago.
Exactly. So it's just never ending.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why you just start something new, you know.
Straight up. And then the other one just stays unfinished for years.
Yeah, exactly. But then, like, you know, maybe one day you'll go back and you might pull sounds from it, like, get the same sort of vibe, but implement all the new techniques that you've learned. And, like, then you can. It's just like, it's all kind of like skeleton stuff that you can kind of go back to and then, like, tear bits out.
Take elements from
it. Yeah.
For sure. You just mentioned before that you really enjoyed listening to, like, liquid music and stuff like that. Do you find that's your favourite genre of drum and bass? Is there something about that genre that attracts you to it?
I love liquid, bro, because it's so easy to listen to, you know? It is just so easy listening to. And like there's nobody in the world who won't like it, you know? Like,
just vibe out anywhere, anytime.
Exactly. It's always a vibe, you know? So liquid is, it's real nice. And it's, I find it to be a bit more simple. In terms of the production, like things like that. If you want to, I wouldn't say simple, but like
less fucking packed in with a whole lot of different elements. Cause I know the heavy rollers, you got like fucking bassy noise and you got high pitch noise.
You got all this stuff going on, you know. Like that's what I mean by easy listening. Is you know, it's just like drums and a bass line and some nice piano or something.
Yeah, real nice melody over there with some vocals.
Yeah, and some vocals, you know, like and that just makes it. Definitely been like experimenting more with like the darker side of liquid, you know.
Old Stingray, you remember Burnsy?
Oh yes, the Stingray dub's definitely not liquid.
That's a game to show, bro.
Yeah, that I was actually gonna get onto that tonight. He sent me the stems back. Like it's done, like the first half of it, but we want to like change the second drop and that. So. We'll have a go at that.
How'd you and old Burns like link up first time? Like just through DMs or?
Yeah, just through DMs. Yeah, it was all. I think. Yeah, literally, we just started chatting on Facebook, like things like that, and it just took off from there. Yeah. We just like got along real well, just over Messenger and that. Like I haven't even met him yet, you know. But I'm going up to Auckland tomorrow, so like he's got his like EP release party, this weekend up in Auckland, so. We got 10 that. Yeah, it should be good. It should be real good.
Auckland always like puts on a show, like
puts on the weather as well at the moment, eh? Like
somehow end up at the casino at like 4 AM. Off your chop, bro. It's just like throwaway thing.
That's dangerous.
Straight the fuck up.
But yeah, I look forward to meeting him, mate. So it'll be good. And then, eventually, like, we've definitely chatted about, like, going over to the UK and things like that. And, like, because he obviously, he's made a few connections over there.
Through Trigger and everything.
Yeah, and just various, DJ Hybrid, I think. He's got releases on his label. I don't want to get the like factual stuff wrong. So like,
a little thing on screen like.
Yeah, I think it's Audio Addict. But yeah, so he's got a couple connections over there, and like definitely would be keen to eventually make our ways over there. Once the borders and that all reopen, everything goes back to normal. Like the New Zealand day, we got it pretty good right now. Like there's not a lot going on.
Get some of the old international lads coming back through.
Oh yeah, shit, yeah, that's gonna be exciting, eh? I saw him.
You're like open for and shit. Who?
Oh.
Out there.
There's been quite a few, like, just been on the support, lineup for, like, Old Booze.
Yeah,
absolutely good cunt. K-Motions, and then there'll be Annex.
Annex was
there. That was down at Basement.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Current Value. Met him at Boston on Blair. Yeah, that was pretty loose. The way he DJs is something else. He's got it all set up with Ableton on his iPad. And I was just like looking at it in awe, like going, holy shit, teach me. Yeah, an iPad, and like it was all routed through his laptop, which was just like had Ableton going, and basically because that's what like Ableton was sort of initially designed for. Yeah, it was that screen, the session screen, I think it's called, and it's got all the little channels, and then you got the little individual things you can press play on. So like he'll have everything separated into his drums and his basses and all the bits and pieces, so you can like cue different parts of the track like whenever he wants. So, yeah, it's crazy to see that work. I still didn't understand how it worked. And that's sort of what Dead Mouse did as well.
Yeah, all on the sky.
Yeah, all on like a. He would use this thing called a Monome, I think it was, and it's just a big board with hundreds of buttons, square buttons, and basically they would translate to what was on the Ableton session screens, and the like buttons would light up, and you could like press one, and that would trigger that part on the screen and things. So yeah,
that's trippy as fun.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to skin a cat. Yeah, it's great.
And like everyone you might like supported for coming internationally, like who would you relate yourself to the most, like in terms of how you produce and shit?
Who I'd relate myself most to, I'd say a lot of my stuff's pretty like raw. It's pretty like
Alex Perez-ish, like,
he's such a dom though. I don't even want to compare myself. So all these people like.
Where you take inspo from though, like.
Yeah, like people like Voltage, take inspo from him. Like Boo, like he's a madman. Like Serum, what a legend. I like all the sofa sound stuff, like and like Break, crazy mix downs and things like. It sounds so nice, And learned a couple of things which slowly kind of like getting there, but fuck, still far off, eh? But yeah, definitely take inspiration from all those sort of guys, like Alex Perez and
all legends, bro.
Skeptical.
Legends of the game.
Who else? Flume. Legend.
Flume's been around since goddamn we were young. Yeah.
Obviously, Dead Mouse. The OG.
The OG, bro.
But yeah, I take inspiration from so much stuff, even not just like particular artists, just like any sort of music I hear, like. Might not even read the name, I was just like, sounds good, it might just spark an idea, and it's just like, go from there. The worst thing is I get a lot of my inspiration at work, like when I'm working I have my headphones on, listening to like playlists or just my like SoundCloud like stream, you know, like the feed, like just
random
random
thing,
stuff, you know, just anything that comes up, and like I'll just be listening, and then that's when all my inspiration sort of strikes, and then I like go home and I'm just wasted from the day, you know, like can't even get anything done. So, but yeah, it's definitely. So I sometimes even write down ideas like in my notes, you know, like MIDI patterns and shit. Like there's lots of different ways.
I definitely find that something at work. For some reason, I find that at work somehow it just brings the most inspiration when you have your headphones and doing like an autonomous task. I just find myself just thinking of bars over and over and over again. I imagine it's the same for you, just thinking about drum patterns or something over and over.
Right,
but then like the boss will hit you up like, oh, you'll do this, and then for a sudden you look up, boom, you just forget everything you just done if you didn't write it down in your notes. Goddamn.
I didn't even have time, you know.
yeah, spec.
Yeah, no, I definitely go that way. Like, it's that monotonous shit. When you just do it mindlessly.
It just comes to you. I feel like creativity is something like that though. It's like the harder you think about being creative, like the more difficult it almost becomes, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you can't really force that kind of thing. It just comes to you.
Yeah. No, definitely just sort of happens. Like I'll go into making a track, like with a general idea about what I want to sound like, but by the end of it, it's usually something like fucking
all the way over there,
and you're just like, whoa, like still it sounds mean. But like I think if you were able to like take the idea from your brain and directly like download it onto your computer, that'd just be like another level of hack, you know?
That's what you need, eh? You need something like that.
It's fucked because like you can't, you like might have the sound in your head and then you go and like try and recreate it in like a VST or something, and it just
it takes either hours or it sounds nothing like it. It sounds like goddamn what the fuck.
But like processing is probably the biggest thing when it comes to bass design and that.
Yeah.
It's all like you start off with a real simple sound, and then you just like resample it. So you like record that sound that you've made, you resample it, and then you keep like you saturate it. You do all this stuff to it, and then you eventually just come up with real full like genuine sounding sounds. You know, like the more you process without absolutely killing the sound, like you know, but you can kind of do it an unlimited amount of times.
Yeah, for sure.
And then EQ, you know,
gives it a bit of texture. Yeah. Hard for sure. So when you are like coming down to produce a track, what do you usually lay down first? Because like a lot of people lay down hi-hats first. What do you go to first?
It depends. It depends like how I'm like. Feeling. You know, like I'll more often than not start with drums.
Yeah.
Like, cause they're just pretty core. You know, like
nice. You can get a nice loop going on or something.
Yeah, and I'll do like drums, and I'll do like 16 bars, and then like once the drums are all nice and sweet, like I will go and start trying stuff on with like bass and that. You know, that's just like the general way I work. Like, but. Like say I'm not coming up with anything in terms of bass design and that, I'll go back, I'll move that 16 bars to, you know, like halfway through the song or whatever, those drums, and then I'll start from the beginning with like you know, pads and like just piano keys, and just start with like different sounds, like more melodics rather than your bass design, you know, and then like eventually you can kind of pull bass and things out from those melodics, you know.
Yeah.
But so there's ways you can do it, but I definitely think starting with drums is pretty cool.
Yeah,
like, it's just a good way to start, you know, and then you can pull all your hats and things out of those full drums that you've made to like use for an intro. Yeah. And then it just leads into each other. Well.
All works out.
Yeah. I was like, cause I told Burns I was coming up this week, and he's got a couple gigs coming up. Like there's this one this weekend, but there's another one like either next weekend or the weekend after. And wanted to pull me on for like a cheeky like B2B for the last half an hour or something.
Yeah, fuck
but I don't think the promoter was too keen.
Hey.
I don't know why. I don't know why. They probably just. Yeah.
That's me, George.
It's all good though. It's all good. I'll go support anyway. You know, it's always a good time. Nah,
That's
bro.
it, that's it.
Well, it'll be fun. It'll be fun regardless, eh?
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, and I haven't met Molly either, so like, she'll probably be floating around at one of the gigs.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be good to meet Molly as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty keen for my little Auckland excursion, eh?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
See how we go.
Are you doing much else after that Auckland gig, or just come back down here, or?
Nah, so yeah, I got the next 2 weeks off work. Like, I just haven't seen like family since the start of the year, so
Cruise
it's a
home.
good idea to shoot off. See her, give the mum a hug, you know.
Yeah, fuck that. Always got to, bro.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's pretty key. So yeah, keen to go do that.
Fuck that.
And I drive the old fucking 80s fucking Toyota up there tomorrow.
How does
Hopefully
that
it
go?
makes
Get
it.
up.
Oh, it's good, bro. It's going good now. Like, got stolen over fucking lockdown, eh?
Bullshit. Like
Yeah,
this,
nah,
like that.
not kidding.
What the fuck?
Yeah, was that on? You posted on Facebook?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, I posted on Facebook because like some fucking motherfucker stole my
Some
car.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, we got
Like,
that shit back.
2 weeks into lockdown, eh?
That's
Alright.
Because like I went food shopping and then I came back, parked it on the road. Then I went into my house and like, obviously you go food shopping, you get like a week's worth of supplies, you know. And like I wasn't driving anywhere or anything. And like if we wanted to go play tennis or like chuck a ball around on the field, we like kind of did this detour where you don't even go onto the road, you know.
Yeah.
So like I didn't even go out to my car for like 6 days. Like didn't even check it. So any time between that, like could have gotten stolen. Yeah, but like we like I posted on Facebook and then that night I got like 150 shares or and like
fucking boss way
450
to buy the
likes or
car,
something.
right?
And then the guy, my mechanic, he's like, oh, I'll put the word out for you, like that's gutting as, you know, like he's my mechanic, high speed, you know, they work across the road from my work, and I always take my car there. Me and the bro do, and like they're absolute good cunts. So he like put the word out for me, and that night they found it. Eh?
It must have like some car group somewhere.
No, honestly,
Underground.
and he reckon he put some like heat on it, you know, like so they were like fuck, like this kid's after his car again, like we better drop it off somewhere. So they found it over in fucking Wilton, you know, like, that night.
Out those ways.
What the fuck?
The being like crashed, the front left wheel was like bent inwards.
Not on the drums, bro.
No, bro, that's the problem. They like ditched the rim that they
Oh,
crashed,
what the
you know,
fuck?
they crashed the left wheel.
Yeah.
And then they, like, when I found it, it was like, the space saver was on there. My wheel was nowhere to be seen. So they
changed
left
the
me
fucking
with three good wheels and the space saver.
It's like,
And a
What
fucked
the
car,
fuck?
you know. So I had to get 4 new wheels and fucking it's been a nightmare. I've only just gotten it like fully back to its
pristine.
normal. I
Fuck,
wouldn't say
fuck,
pristine. But
She's still.
there she goes.
Yeah,
Yeah, she goes and
So you get all of
hopefully.
this?
Yeah, hopefully. I'm trying. Yeah, it should be good, bro. I'm
Hopefully.
keen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done the trip before, like, and over New Year's I took it up to fucking Northern Base, which is in Mangawa.
Mangawa,
Yeah, Mangawa. Yeah, so like, that was like fucking, that's probably equivalent of like 10, 11 hours of driving, you know? Quite a few Ks in there.
Yeah, lucky we camped just across from you in Northern Base.
Yeah,
What do you reckon,
that's
like-
right, that's
Yeah.
right.
That was a fucking good time, bro. Seeing you around shit.
Yeah, bro, that was sick, man. That was awesome.
It was a fucking good festival,
Yeah,
bro.
Northern.
Do you have like a
Northern
couple
is-
highlights? Like
Oh.
Camo and Crooked?
Yeah,
Fucking
Camo
sick.
Crooked was loose. I
Always,
saw a bit of
always.
noise, yeah.
The noise,
It was wild. My favourite was gotta be Shy FX. That was definitely the highlight. Shy FX
Fuck
and
yeah.
Break.
Always go hard.
Break at the jungle stage. And then Shy FX on the
Was
main.
Break the one who like his like set got cut like near the end from like that might have been DC.
Yeah, somebody had the power
power cut, full
power
power
cut
cut,
for
yeah.
like a decent while at the jungle stage.
Yeah, fuck,
Yeah, that sucked, but yeah, no, it got resolved pretty quickly. I thought so. Yeah, no, it was a fucking awesome. It was an awesome festival, way like.
Fuck yeah, Northern Base always do pretty well there.
Yeah, bro. Like Fusion, they fucking. I reckon the sound techies there, that's like
Pretty
gotta
awesome.
be some of the best in the world. Eh? Like it's fucked, man. You're standing on that hill, bro, and you're like your nose is just like tickling because it's just like.
It's all comes back.
Fuck, bro. Like I can't. Yeah, it's pretty. You gotta like be there to kind of understand how it, like. I didn't even think like bass could be that loud, you know. Like, it's so hard to compute like how the fuck it's working. Like when you're just standing there and you're just like holy
shaking
fuck.
like
The wildest shit, bro. Wildest shit.
Did you rehearse up to like the Liquid Lagoon at all?
Yeah, nah. I actually didn't make it up there.
Oh,
like,
bro.
I know.
So
I didn't make it up there, bro. The whole festival, like, I was pretty gutted. But I wanted to go see the Liquid Lowdown.
Yeah.
Because they did that there, but. I just didn't even make it up, hey. I don't even know what I was doing.
I reckon like next time we're definitely gonna go, but like spend at least like fucking good half of the day there, bro.
Yeah.
Nice.
You stay up there from like the morning or whatever.
Yeah, bro.
It
Just
starts,
post up like on the like water and shit.
Yeah.
Just liquid pumping at you. It's fucking
right.
mean.
Oh. There's mean sounds up there too as well, man. They just kill it the whole thing.
Straight up.
Gnarly festival. Yeah, that's definitely like in game for me. It's like playing Northern, bro. Like not in game, just like you know, like that's the fucking dream.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even
Northern over R&B, or what do you reckon? What's your vote? If you had to?
like if you're like if you're ahead, you know, like Northern Bass.
Yeah.
But like, if it's your first festival, I'd definitely recommend R&B.
There's all the
but
frothers there.
Yeah,
Playing music back to back.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stages, you know, and like, it's a pretty cool vibe, you know. You're in fucking vineyard. You got fucking what are they called? Berries all around you and shit. Like it's crazy. Yeah, fine.
Especially if you like haven't done any festivals and shit.
Yeah, it's definitely go camp in the vineyard. You know, it's the way to go. And then they have the thing called a fridge.
Fridge.
Yeah, the fridge.
Fridge, bro.
Yeah, I'd love to play the fridge. It'd be so funny.
Just packed as.
I remember, when I first went and seeing that, and I was just like, holy fuck, like they pack people into this fridge and then they close the door. It was just like a raid for 30 seconds.
Ridiculous amounts of people.
Yeah, the DJ plays one drop and then they're like, everyone's in there frothing for like a minute. By the time the next tune's coming out, there's a new bunch of people in this fridge.
Yeah. Everyone's got too hot, just fucked off.
It's a sick place though, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's really sweaty ass.
Yeah.
Sweaty.
Sweaty.
So you're traveling up to Auckland and you say you're gonna go see your family up there. You're from Auckland?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm from Auckland, but...
Born and bred.
Yeah, that's the one, From Coatesville. You know where Coatesville is?
No clue, bro. It's not in my head. Just pretending like, yep, I know where Coatesville is.
Do you know who Kim.com is?
Yeah, I do know Kim.com. Yeah.
Yeah. Live on his road,
No shit.
Yeah.
Me and Kim.com go way back. Actually, I swear to God. Mega
Oh,
Racer.
Mega.
Mega Racer. Yeah. Bro, I swear I used to pop up against like some Call of Duty lobbies with that guy. I don't know.
Crack up. Yeah, no, he was quite the gamer,
Yeah.
One day my mum was at the the hall where they do like a community sort of meet every like month, whatever it is, and he like turned up and his bodyguards brought in his fucking lazy boy, like
Bullshit.
not even kidding, bro. Because he came through to just have a chat to everyone as well, because he's like, living in the community, you know. Yeah, and they were rocking like one on each side of this lazy boy. Just plop it down. Everyone's on those like plastic, you know, those old like plastic chairs, and he's got this fucking lazy boy.
What the fuck?
What kind of rich is that?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
That's
That's crazy shit.
And fucking, I don't know if I missed it, but are you playing any gigs over that last 2 weeks, or the next 2 weeks in your Auckland for?
Nah, I won't be playing any gigs.
Family time.
Yeah, we'll just be catching up with the family, you know.
Nice.
I got a good mate of mine who's over from Aussie, so definitely been keen to catch up with him. I haven't seen him in like years, so definitely overdue for a catch up. And there's a couple of the Dunedin boys who've like finished their degrees in that. Now up in Auckland. Yeah. So it'll be good to see all them as well.
You're studying as well. How did you find learning music production and then learning whatever it is that you're studying? What are you studying, Uni?
I'm studying commercial music.
You're studying commercial music.
Yeah. So the music production stuff was sort of like it's just been something I've sort of learned over time, quite young, you know. And then I stepped back from it and came back to it again. And when I tried to make a tune, I was like, holy fuck, like
Can still do it.
I can still do it, and it sounds even better, you know. Like it's just weird. It's like my ear matured or something. Like you could hear things that like, or just I don't know. It was real weird.
Yeah,
bro.
definitely
it was real
amateur.
weird. It was real weird. Like I was like, whoa, like this could actually be a thing, you know. Like, and I was doing a design degree at the time, you know, so I was fully into my design and that back in school, and I thought it was just the pathway to like go. But I figured out I didn't like being taught how to like design something, you know, like.
You know, like the free will of being able to design something you wanted to.
Didn't want to like. It was less. I don't know. I'd rather. Yeah. The whole like the concepts of design and that great. It was good to learn like fundamentals and that. But I definitely didn't want to do a 4-year honours degree like, and then get a job as a some design firm or something. You know, for Fisher and Paykel. You know? Like that. But man, I wasn't keen. You know, like, and then if you wanted to do anything else, you had to be like the best at it, you know, and that. And my stepsister like managed to suss her honours and be like top in her class, you know, and she got an amazing job out straight off the bat. Like she got a job over in Aussie, like, which was just sorted her out, you know. But it's definitely not the route I sort of wanted to take, and I decided at the end of that year I was like, like kind of be getting back into this music stuff. Like maybe I want to learn a bit more about how the industry works. So I like started the commercial music degree. Well, actually no, I didn't start that straight off the bat. I went into door-to-door sales for like a bit, you know. So knocking on the old doors, selling fucking blind guide dogs. Like you could sponsor a dog, like puppy and that.
That's character building right there.
Yeah,
Holy
it was a
moly.
bunch of charity stuff, you know, like Starship Hospital and that. And then and that was pretty. It was pretty interesting. You know, you learned quite a lot of like stuff. Just knock on somebody's door and be like, yo.
Quite a lot of Brazilians, you know, like oh gosh, next person's gonna deny me. We're gonna keep going back.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a lot of that though. Like a lot of denial and that just can really like hammer on you.
That is the most perfect character building, I swear, for the music industry, because you're gonna get people who don't like your shit. You're gonna get you're gonna send your shit to people. They're gonna be like, "That's fucking whack."
Well, they're just not even gonna reply. You know, like
for
they
sure.
just don't even reply. That's just as bad. Like
100%.
But I read something recently. It's like if somebody doesn't actually fucking leave that one. Can we edit that one out?
If somebody doesn't fuck with your shit, fuck them, bro. Like if you think your shit's lit, someone else in the world, I guarantee, will think your
music's
shit's lit.
subjective, you know.
Subjective, 100%.
Subjective as fuck. So, but yeah, then did the door-to-door stuff. Then I eventually got into like the power stuff. We were sort of selling like electricity on the door. Like
that's when we met you, like Side Street.
The solar panel car.
No. So that came after, bro. Like we've done all this random ass shit. Like, so that was selling like trust power on the door. You know, you'd set somebody up with like a 12-month contract and like, and they'd get like a free TV and shit. But then I went back to uni, like finished that. I was like, nah, fuck this. Like, I'm gonna start a new degree. Started the industrial commercial music degree, and that I was able to transfer like a couple of papers over to get me sort of started. Because I just stayed at Massey, you know. And then I did that for like a year and a half, maybe a year, and then I got offered a job as a fucking solar consultant. So I got given a Prius and was able to fucking drove around, bro, selling solar systems, like solar panel systems to people's residential properties. But this wasn't door knocking, you know, like they actually contacted us and like asked us to come over and give us a quote and shit like that. So it was pretty cool. That was pretty cool, but the problem was driving the Prius. Fuck the Prius.
Fuck the Prius. We got the Scarlet, baby. We out here whipping around and shit, you know. Fuck bro, you know. Fuck a Prius, bro. Like.
How cheap was gas though?
How cheap was gas? It's crazy cheap, bro. Crazy cheap. It had an EV mode and you could press it and it would go full electric.
Oh, fuck.
It's pretty shit though. It sucked.
Pretty safe, bro. You know, horsepower and shit.
Pulls the beezies though. Hold up.
Had this big like solar, like the company's like sign on the side of it. Like that, It was so funny, bro. But nah, yeah, I enjoyed that, and that taught me a lot. But yeah, I eventually had to make a call whether to continue and finish my degree or like continue with the solar stuff and try like make it in that. But it was like
Heaps of solar panels.
yeah, exactly.
When you are performing and so, there's people around you off stuff, on stuff, you know what I mean? How hard is it not to get like wrapped up in that kind of scene when you're ready to go perform a gig?
It's pretty hard not to get wrapped up in that, but
Yeah.
I've definitely found like the novelty of, you know, getting fucked up, like, and doing it as worn off, like quite a lot, like, you know, like, and I kind of went through the whole, because we're at the parties and shit, you're obviously absolutely slaughtered, but yeah, you're like in charge of like the sounds and that, so like, it's definitely. It's kind of sobering, like almost like when you're having to control something like that. But yeah, like I definitely don't indulge like as much as if I'm playing in that. Like I don't really indulge that much. But like that first gig back, that was probably
an exception to these times, you know.
The first one back,
exceptions happen.
You know, I had to have a bit of fun. So
for sure.
I'm being pretty wasted for that. But
It would have been
it's
like
a fucking mean night anyway. Yeah. Everyone was. I think when everyone else is fucked up, they don't really notice it.
100%. So you had the gig at Meow on the weekend, and Welly, like, what's your like favorite venue to play in Welly?
Bro, I loved 121.
Oh yeah.
Club 121.
Yeah.
That was so sick on Cuba Street.
Yeah.
Just so much foot traffic, and it was just always like packed to the brim. Whether it was a house night or like one of our fucking drum and bass Thursdays, you know.
Yeah, they're always
packed, bro.
Packed out. Always people getting denied by the bouncers, and I swear all the girls got in with that. Like, sometimes that happens. You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah, sometimes that happens.
And,
up to the bouncers.
Yeah. Speaking of house nights and 121 and whatnot, have you produced like any house recently, or have you been like asked to mix any house recently other than DMB?
Nah, unless like it's just at a sort of house party or something like that, you know. But like I haven't really. My mate Joel C, he's up in Auckland. He was down in Dunedin, and he's a prolific house DJ throughout Auckland, you know, the Auckland nightlife. And one time he gave me his USB, and I sneakily downloaded all the tracks. So like, I got a house like playlist.
Yeah, you're ready to go. Someone calls you up.
Yeah, we're ready.
After this interview, like
yeah. No, I love house, you know, but like I just, when it comes to like the production side of it, I'm far more entertained by drum and bass. Like it's just a bit more.
There's more things you can
complex.
offer to the crowd.
Yeah. There's more stuff I feel like you can do with it. You know, like whereas my house, it's like that 4x4. You know, like. And if it's not that 4x4, then it's not. It's probably not house.
Yeah. Pretty strict genre you got right there.
Yeah, you know, like but I do rate it. And I do see that because like that's like kind of my roots. You know, like. The old dead mouse and that.
Yeah,
like,
13, 14-year-old Willy producing shit.
Yeah, it was definitely mine. Yeah, it was. I frothed it, you know, and I still do. I just like, I'm way more occupied by the old drum and bass.
Yeah, for sure.
When did you first like stumble upon drum and bass, do you reckon?
Well, like the thing was like, I would sort of grew up listening on like Camo and Crooked and Noisier and things like that. People like that, and, like the Prodigy and. The Pendulum and all those people, but I never even knew that it was drum and bass, you know, like.
Was this fast-paced music?
Yeah, it was just like, it sounded sick, you know? And then, so I didn't even know, and then like, I think it was literally like, sort of around that time when I first started going to like festivals and that, I started to click, like what it was, because I sort of took a step back from the old electronic like music at all for like, like two or 3 years before. It was my like senior school years. I didn't do like any production, you know. I was in a new school and I just didn't barely do anything, you know. Like, but getting back into like sort of like partying and like, festivals and all that sort of stuff, and
all
it started to
fucking
click like, oh, well, you know, this is what I'm hearing drum and bass. This is like festival right now. Like that sounds mean, like you know. And then, yeah, I don't know. Just keep it's experiences, you know, and those experiences have like influenced me, you know, because like when I make a track, I often think about like what might sound fucking mean live, you know. Like, that's the I keep that in the back of my mind.
Yeah,
you know?
that actually brings me to something, because when I made my album, it was for live performance. So when you make your tracks, do you have that? Is that a large aspect in the back of your mind? Like, are you making your tracks because you know that drop's gonna roll hard, or do you make a track because you know this is a nice medium between two heavy rolling tracks and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely. I definitely think about like what I would like to like play. You know?
Not just what sounds nice, but what's gonna work when I swing your hands.
Yeah, what's gonna be like good to DJ, like mix in properly, and like what's gonna drop, like I don't know, what's gonna just make it cool fucking sound. Yeah. I want to get like that shock and awe kind of like that stage where it's just like, whoa, what the fuck? Like standing there and going, holy shit.
Everyone in the crowd just like, oh, you know.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah. It's all about that.
Oh, real quick. How often do you like practice mixing? Like, how often you try find some drops and shit?
Bro, I don't even have decks, eh? Like, don't, bro.
Bullshit.
Nah, I don't. Like, that's what I mean by like the production comes first.
Oh, that's buzzy.
Yeah, bro. The pros always have the decks. You know, like Charleston's got some
You just find them on
CDJs
the night, bro. Find the double drops on the night.
Yeah, or like my sets aren't planned at all. Like definitely no planning. Like except for that, there's the occasion where I'll have like two tunes which will sound sick together, and I know, so I'll just play those two together. But like when I play them in the set, it's pretty unplanned. And, like, that's why I almost like
that fucking on your Insta you just posted from the weekend's gig. Yeah, Camo and Crooked, the first drop.
With time tripping, bro.
Yeah,
Set
bro,
it off in time tripping.
Fucking mad.
See, I figured that one out. On the day. You know, I was having a mix at Charlie's, and I was like, "Fuck."
Fucking bad, that worked so good.
Yeah, bro. And then worked to like the intro for a bit. It's like, bro, but I enjoy that one. I'll probably use it again. But yeah, sometimes you just stumble upon shit, eh?
Yeah, bro. So like you honestly just mix it like Charles and shit, just wherever.
Yeah, just like wherever I can, eh? But yeah, it's pretty hard. Like CDJs are very expensive, you know, and like when it comes to mixing on a laptop, it's kind of you don't even need headphones because you can just see it. Like so it is kind of like it's a lot. That's what I learnt on. You know, I learnt on mixing on like Serato and that. The house parties and shit, and it's now that's kind of quite simple now to me. Like I understand it all, and the learning curve was like learning to like listen, you know, instead of watch. So when we started using like CDJs and practicing with those, when we started getting gigs, like actual gigs and that, it was like that was the big learning curve. But like once you kind of figure out how they work and like what to listen to for and things, it's
like
definitely
that 4,
just
like 1, 2, 3, 4 sort of
yeah.
You reckon like your transition from like seeing it to like actually using your ears was pretty easy, or like
it was difficult at first. Like if anybody's using Serato or Record Box, first of all I'd recommend using Record Box because Record Box is like directly transferable to CDJs. So like whatever playlists you make or cue points and whatever and that, like it'll just go straight onto a USB and you plug that USB into CDJs and it'll be the exact same. But wait, sorry, was it transition?
Yeah, was it like hard to go from like seeing the points to just like using your ears?
Yeah. It was definitely tricky, because like I don't know, it's just hard to figure out what you're kind of listening for, But eventually there's a couple visual pointers like cues that can help on CDJs and that. These little bricks that like follow along each other. Like there's 4 bricks and they basically if they're lining up then they're sweet. You know? But then that's all to do with like how you've set up the track and Record Box, in the first place. So that's all cue points. Yeah, cue points and like making sure the grid's all in the right spot and things. So, but yeah, definitely like have a lot of respect for people who like just learned off the bat.
Straight off the
I almost think like it would be easier to learn like with CDJ the hard way first.
Yeah.
You know?
Thrown in the deep end. Swim, you know?
Yeah, that was the thing with like learning Ableton. You know, it's like
That's like
big software. Is like, but you just gotta dive in and like do it. Like, there's no point in like learning like GarageBand and then you know being limited by something and then trying to learn something else. Like, you may as well just throw yourself in the deep end. But then again, like, not everyone has access to CDJs because they're fucking like so expensive. It's crazy. So I didn't have that access, so I just got myself a like various Pioneer SB2s. You know, and I was just it taught you like how like phases work. You know, like music and things. You know, like.
We're on the 2 channels at the moment, but we're looking to get 4 channels.
Yeah, like 2 channels, like sweet. Just don't even. Yeah, like starting off with a 4-channel mixer, you're definitely gonna like have a few more options later on down the track. Yeah. But like, I was never a fan of using 4 channels, and then you have to like select which deck it is. You know, like because it's still just one. Kind of disc jockey thing, like
becomes a little bit like extra admin you have to think about.
Yeah, and then like all the dials are set to what
was before.
What it was before, you know. So like, if you switch it and your bass is up, you're gonna have to bring it down and then back up if you want it to like kind of connect to the computer and that. So yeah, it was just such a hassle doing that. So like,
have you ever fucked with like any vinyls or anything like that? The OGs?
Yeah, actually I got given a set of vinyl, like I think they're old Technic, like real old Technics.
Yeah. You got any vinyls yourself?
Nah, but I don't have any vinyl. Like, but the bro Chopped Up has some, so he.
Oh, the bro Chopped Up.
Yeah, Jared.
Damn, J-Rod, if you watching this, like, swear to God, hope you all good, my G. You need to come pull up down these days for a motherfucking interview, J-Rod, bro. Swear to God.
Yeah. Well, he's local.
He's up in Auckland at the moment, eh?
So move back.
Yeah.
Bring him back, I reckon.
Bring him back.
Alright, come back. Come back, Jared. We miss you. Yeah, but like so he had a few like few vinyls, and we just had because the needles were fucked. Like we didn't have any of the needles for the set that I got given. So we ended up finding like through one of our audio dudes. He gave us a needle, and we chucked that on there, and then he had like a couple of CDJs, so we just had a vinyl player and like 2 CDJs and a mixer. So you'd like mixing vinyl into like CDJ stuff,
CDJs.
You know? Yeah. So that's what it mean. Like, so you had like a kind of BPM indication, you know, between the CDJs, but like the vinyl, they didn't. It's fucking crazy shit, bro.
What the fuck?
How vinyl, like, fuck, man.
Yeah,
like, it's out the gate, bro. Yeah. I just can't even, like...
Because when we were
crazy shit.
I did a gig at Meow, the same place you did just this weekend, Bean, and Luca was there doing his set with all vinyl. He only did a set with vinyl. I was just watching that guy switch the fucking vinyls in between like each track, and I was just watching that shit like, holy fuck, how's that cunt do that shit, bro?
No idea, right?
Yeah.
No idea.
Motherfuckers like scratch it and come back to like the exact point. How the fuck you do that?
It's like sometimes like a line.
It's a talent, bro.
Yeah, it is a fucking talent being able to scratch and shit. Like,
straight up.
Crazy.
Well, that's the next step for DMB, Willy Mav. Scratching DMB. They're gonna see it here first. No shit.
Fuck, man.
He's gonna come back next year. Willy Scratch is gonna be his name.
No. Fucking Rhythmatics. If you guys want to learn something about
Rhythmatics?
Yeah, Rhythmatics, bro. He's on the lineup for this like gig coming up. It's like I think it's Audiology. They're doing it. It's got like the upbeats and Concord Dawn and all them. He's on it, bro. He mixes vinyl and he is fucking, bro, mind blowing. Like he's
DMB vinyl?
Yeah, DMB. Like, 100%,
no,
bro. Yeah. He's like fucking amazing in it, bro.
Pretty young to the scene, or?
No, he's been around for ages, and he's just fucking awesome dude, eh? Yeah. Awesome dude, and he yeah, he's played at like 121. We've had like Coastal's had him come and play for us at 121 and that. And like the thing with vinyl is that like if it's real loud, like it's just this tiny little needle on this disc, right? Like so when it's like there's like big bass and like there's a lot of vibrations going on, or people jumping up and down, like the needle can pop off. Yeah, it can just pop off, you know. So like he was like mid-set, and you know, and then it just like fucking stops and like it bounces off or like skips to another part of the song. And it's just like fuck, like I just couldn't even like. This is so annoying, bro. Like imagine having to feel fucking like
set.
Yeah, set.
Like you better jump.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like it just so. Yeah, it felt from then, but
Still pretty mad.
Yeah, a lot of respect for people who can fucking scratch and just like mix 2 tracks.
Straight from
like
proper OGs.
There's not even like BPM, like it doesn't even tell you like how fast it's going. He'll do this like technique and he'll like kind of put his finger at the place like where it's good, and then he'll go like this. And he'll keep like kind of pushing it fast and then slow again until it's at the right pace. Like it's real weird how it works. Like,
and that's just
crazy shit. Yeah. It's like
that seems like bonk.
Yeah, it's like moving the BPM fader like up real quick, and that speeds up the song for like a split second. And instead of like, you know, on a like CDJ, you'd like kind of flick it to kind of move it into place. Like that's how you move a vinyl, because you can't flick a vinyl. You know, like you speed it up for a short amount of time, and then it slowly pushes it in. So it's all real like micromanagement shit. Like, yeah. Like, whereas the CDJs, you just fucking throw anything in. Like, it doesn't.
You gotta matter those fucking vinyls like front and back, just fucking.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Eh? Like when he had that unglued bootleg of like. If We Ever, I think. We Ever, yeah. He had it on vinyl, bro. At 121, and he played it. And I was like,
that's mad.
So good, yeah. It was awesome.
Mad. Fuck yeah. One day.
Yeah, we'll learn. One day. Get there.
So master the CDJs first.
Yeah, I was.
Fucking ons.
Yeah. But you know, Jared's got that other vinyl player, and then his brothers sold the other one to his brother, because I just don't have any vinyl, so I have no need for it, you know. So now the 2 Swindows are gonna have them.
Up and coming vinyl players.
Yeah, well they got their CDJs, and then it's nice to like have one vinyl, like so then you can just mix that vinyl into your CDJs, and it's pretty cool, like. Teaches you slowly.
That's just pretty
the first step. It's probably the same as going from a controller to CDJ, then CDJ to fucking vinyl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't be fucked bringing like a big vinyl case with me to mine.
Just charge them another $200, bro, for transport fees. You know what it is? Like
true.
Fuel,
you know.
Happens, bro. Like
the shit weighs like 30 kgs.
that's the problem when you try to hire artists, my bro. Like, that's just the cost, you know.
It's the cost.
Do you reckon you're gonna cop some CDJs anytime soon? Any plans? Or?
I have fuck all money, so probably not. Like,
I
mean, like I'd love to one day, you know. Maybe when I have a house and shit. Like,
have a little bit of a studio.
When you pop off, bro.
It would definitely be key to have CDJs like one day. Like I feel like I'll be able to hone in my like sets a bit more, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than just sort of winging it and like hoping shit sounds all good. Like, I have a bit more practice, so yeah.
At least you got the production, you know, like you got
and
that's
what I had, like, so that's what I'll just work with for now. Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool being able to like put out music like that, because even if you're not spinning shit at gigs, you've got stuff that people are gonna be spinning because you got your own workout. You know what I mean? Because I've seen you on your SoundCloud putting your tracks up for download, like free download and shit like that.
Yeah, a couple of those. I put one up and then I took it down because I wanted to actually. I've given it a release, so it's there's 6 tracks coming out on Lined Up International. And they're like that's
pretty dope, bro.
They're the biggest. Yeah, they're the biggest that I've seen. So yeah, it's been fantastic.
Let's see. Brings me another question I have about releases. When you go to release something, are you planning weeks ahead, months ahead, years ahead when you got your releases? Like,
Nah, not really. With like my own like sort of free download stuff. Like, it's definitely just like spirit of the moment.
Yeah,
Kinda like,
for sure.
Fuck yeah, I'll get like just want people to hear it. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely kind of wanting to stand back from that a bit more. Like, once I hone it in a bit more and like maybe play the tunes out at like gigs and that and see what they sound like on different systems and that.
Yeah.
And then once I know that they sound mean like everywhere I play them, you know, then I'll want to like put them out. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
That's
For
the
sure.
idea for me. Making sure it sounds sick on every type of different speaker. Like,
Yeah, because that's a huge thing. When you go to the mastering phase or even just to the mixing phase, like you got to play it mono through one speaker, and you got to go chuck it on the UE boom, chuck it in the car, chuck it on some fake speakers. You know? Yeah, for sure.
It's got to be able to like translate. Your mix has to translate to like a stereo and a mono system
for sure.
as well.
100%.
You don't want elements just disappear completely when it's played through a mono speaker, you know.
How do you mix? Because I've seen like people like Dr. Dre and all those people. They always say to mix in mono. Do you mix in mono through one speaker, or how do you find
That's
process
probably a really good idea actually. Like, I've never even tried it. Like just mixing in mono. Like that sounds smart. Like I just mix down. There's no like real checklist that I even have like when it comes to mixing down.
That's what sounds good.
Yeah, totally. 100%. Bro. It's always just been like that, and like I don't really. Now I use a lot of like routing for like how the project's set up from the beginning, like all the channels and things.
Yeah.
And then I put different parts into those channels, and they all send different parts of the.
Oh, you mean like making like bus tracks and?
Yeah, and all that, and then that helps a lot with the where shit's all positioned. When it
for
comes
sure.
to
I can imagine that.
Yeah. So it's like kind of all falls into place, and I think those are always the best tunes, is the ones that you spend the least amount of time mixing down because they just already sound
good. Yeah, because as long as you choose good sounds before you get to the mixing, your song should be alright. Because you don't want to make a bad song sound good. You can't make a bad sound good, right? 100%.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't polish a turd. So.
You can't polish a turd, bro. You just smear that shit in. You dig like, goddamn.
I need to take another piss. Weak bladder.
Just like wrapping up when you're back.
Yeah, right.
Fucking hell. This has been episode 1. It's been fucking good. To be honest, this has been way better than I expected. You know? Welcome.
Hello.
This is the final couple minutes to go to the podcast left. We're here with Willy. We're here with Fitu. We're here with Z. You know, wrapping it up. You know, I want to give Willy some time right now to plug whatever the fuck he's got going on, you know, like, Willy out here, he's done some shit, but what are you gonna do, you know? Tell us, what are you gonna do?
What's up and coming,
you know?
Young boy Willy?
Yo,
Plans next 6 months.
Well, it's the problem now. I don't know what I'm allowed to, like, share and shit.
You know, on this podcast, man, bro, you can share the secrets, you can share whatever you want to share, you know? If it's gonna get us all publicity on this shit, you know, you can share the deepest secret you got, you know?
I'm just gonna have to like, obviously plug the bros like Sky High Recordings. You know.
Shout out Katie, shout out Sky High.
There we go. Then Coastal Promotions.
Shout out Ben.
Always put it on.
Audio Avenue.
Absolute some gigs.
Legends. Yeah. Old Brucey and Carl. Who they set all the systems up for our gigs and that, and they just fucking always sounds mean. Heaps of bass.
As long as there's heaps of bass, Willy Mav's heavy.
Yeah, bass support. New tunes. Like I'm sitting on so much right now that it's actually quite ridiculous. I need to do something with them, but like I said, there's six tracks coming out and lined up like in the future. I don't have a date, no release date or anything like that, but we're working on it. And then there's this one tune with Molly which received a little bit of attention from old DnB All Stars, and they wanna put that out as well. So that's
pretty exciting,
that's coming in the future as well.
Right, I guess I'll jump in. One you might have sent me like a couple of weeks ago. Come on, or no, Here With Me or something.
Yeah,
right,
that one.
Absolute fucking banger.
Yeah, I will. I've been thinking about just putting out like a free download or something, you know, when I hit 400 followers on SoundCloud.
Whoa. You heard that right there.
Here we go.
400 followers. You want a free check from the man.
How many we at?
How many do we need? We need 400, but we're sitting
We
probably...
need 400.
You want a free track?
You guys want that free track?
Listen to that right now.
now.
If you're not listening right now,
Oh shit, we're 5 followers away.
we're 5 fucking followers away from 400.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to finish it now. Eh?
You know? Yeah, no, he's
Big pressure.
he's talking shit. He hasn't even got it done, but if you follow him right now, he's gonna have it done by the time you finish watching this video, and then you can go download this track. See, like, he's panicking now because he's gonna do it.
Nah, you guys won't do it. You guys won't do it.
Fucking no. Well,
That's
anyway, that shows how humble the bro is. He pulls up to plug himself, he just plugs all the bros. Nah, really appreciate you coming through, Willy, bro. Like, you know, the first one, get it done.
My G, thank you very much.
Bro.
So good to
Good to see you, bro. Good to be here.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, anytime.
Fucking
bro.
no.
Anytime.
Get one on hang with homies. Fuck no. Nah, yeah, we're in this bitch. Thanks for watching, guys.
Cheers, eh?